created applications in GenQuery, and I have written the APIs to fetch the applications that were created today, and it should be in the shorted means the such the newest one appears first, and also the other API to fetch the applications that were created by the user. Okay, this is the MongoDB Compass database, and going to the .env for Mongo URI I have given taken, and the database GenQuery, and the databases are first we need to import OS, which provides a way to interact with the operating system, and from PyMongo import Mongo client. This will help, which is used to connect to the MongoDB database, and from .env we need to import load.env, which loads environmental variables from .env into the environment, and this load.env is useful for keeping sensitive information like database credential out of our source code. Okay, and this is a Mongo URI. This line retrieves the values of the Mongo URI environmental variables, which should contain your MongoDB connection string. And this is the client which is creating data, creating a Mongo client data instance, which will create a new instance, and this is the accessing the database and the collection. This is a DB client GenQuery accesses the database name GenQuery. It does not exist. MongoDB will create it when first stores the data, and this project collection access the project collection with the GenQuery database. Okay, and these are the models. From Pydantic, we need to import base model, and from typing we need to import optional list, union, and team members. From data time, import data time, and these are the base models. And going to the APIs, first from fast API we need to import fast API. The main class is to create your API application for the fast API, and this HTTP exception is used to manually raise errors like 404 not found, and the query is used to define and validate query parameters and the endpoints. Okay, and from baseline we need to import object ID, which will convert to a string before sending in API response. And from PyMongo we need to import descending, where descending is used to sort MongoDB query related in the descending order. It's latest in the first. And from database import projects collections. Okay, we must have a defined MongoDB connection in the database.py. In this is the MongoDB URI. Okay, and from datetime we need to import datetime and time delta, whereas datetime will work with the date and time values, and time delta is like adding 1 day automatically. Okay, and app equal to the fast API is initializes a new fast API application, and this def stringify object IDs doc is uses to define the functions to convert MongoDB's object ID to string format. Okay, and if is instance doc object ID return str doc is value is a MongoDB object ID which converts string using string parameter. Okay, and elif is instance doc a dictionary is if the value is a dictionary which applies the stringify objects IDs to each values. Okay, and elif instance the list is used to apply string if stringify object IDs to each items in a list. And going to the tuple, it's used for the function to each item and returns as a tuple. And this else return dog, it's none of the above, just it returns, it's unchanged. And coming to the endpoint, projects today, and the get is used to define API route at projects today. Okay, this async def gets projects today is defined as an asynchronous functions which will handle this endpoint. Okay, and today start equal to date time now replace is where we will get date with time set to the midnight, everything will be zero. Okay, this is the start of the day, and today's end equal to today's start plus time delta days equal to 1 is used to add one day to get the end of today midnight of the next day. Okay, and the cursor projects collection dot find created on greater than or equal to today's start less than today's end, and the sorted created on listening means which will find all the projects in the projects collection where which are created on between today's start and today's end, which makes the sort the newest one comes first, and this project is equal to stringify object IDs. Project for project in cursor is converted the cursor into the list of projects, and each project's object ID fields are converted to string using the helper function. Okay, and coming to the second API, the endpoints of projects, and the get defines an endpoint where async def gets projects by member. This function takes a required query parameter called member name, example through the username which are in the database. Okay, and the cursor equal to projects collection find team name equal member name and sorted create on is other queries MongoDB for projects where a team member has the given name. Okay, and MongoDB for the project where team members given name is like username from the database, and this is a project stringify object IDs for projects in the cursor is a process each project to convert all object IDs into the string. If not projects, there are no projects found, it will raise a 404 not found error. Okay, and first in the terminal we need to activate the VNV scripts activate, and we need to run uvcon main app reload. Okay, then the application startup complete, then we need to check two endpoints. First go to the postman, first the projects which are created on today, so there are no projects created on today, it's successfully done. And the second endpoint is with the username, so let's take the username as Varsha. Yeah, these are the projects, see on the name of Varsha, and the first it is in the descending order, so the latest will be on the first, it is created on the 2nd May, and this is also on the 2nd May, and this is on April 10th. Stick on Satiraju. Yes. So these are the projects and the descending, and see it is created on 2nd of May, and 2nd of May the second one, and the third one is on 16th of April. Okay, so successfully the two APIs are running.